Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, The Thinkers Club. So today I'm here with the course outline of Indian Polity, and what this course outline just highlights what all we're going to study in the next coming few weeks. And as far as the Indian Polity, I am starting it from the colonial legacy to the modern governance, because many of our rules and regulations, and in fact our constitution, is somehow based on what all laws were passed in the colonial time. So one thing I want to ask everyone honestly before starting it, you can comment in the comment section your answers. I'm very glad to know that as you all live in India, you follow laws, you vote, you talk about rights. So tell me one thing, that do you actually understand who is running this country and how it really works? I repeat myself, that as a citizen of India, you follow rules and regulations, you talk about rights, you go for voting whenever elections are held, but do you actually understand who is running this country and how is it really working? Pause this video, go to the comment section and tell me what are your thoughts on this. So according to me, most people don't. And that's the biggest problem, because you'll be like, the Prime Minister, of course, runs this country. How? What is he doing for running the country? So, when you don't understand the system you're living in, you are actually a part of it, but without the control. You need to think about it like, I have rights. What rights? Who gave you those rights? Who can take them back? And what are the limits of the government? Like, some people are still here with the same conceptual clarity that I have the right to freedom. Right to freedom of what? How is it affecting you? Can anyone take that freedom back from you? And who gave you that freedom in the first place? So, if you don't know this, then your rights are just words. They are just the concept you learned in the fifth and the sixth class. So, I welcome you all to the Thinkers Club. And this is not just a study channel. This is a place where you don't just study, you understand, you question, and you're forced to think about what you're learning. Because information is everywhere, but the clarity of that information is very rare. You need to be clear about a particular information. In today's day, if I tell you to write down in the comment section 5 rights, you'll be writing right to equality, right to freedom, and right of speaking, right against exploitation. But what's the clarity? What sort of exploitation? What sort of freedom? Okay, so most students study Indian polity like they are mugging up articles, they are memorizing a few acts, and after the exam, they're forgetting it. And then they say polity is boring. It's not boring, it's just that you were not taught properly. However, there are some teachers which are very excellent in their and they're very expertise. They have a very great expertise in the subject. And when you learn from them, your mind starts developing and you start thinking and questioning and bringing a broader concept to it. So let's begin with our roadmap. So this course is currently divided into, so this entire course is covered into 10 modules, and these are not chapters from any book, because I personally think that a chapter contains fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and the directive principles of state policy. But what are these? And you know, making the connection is something nice, but understanding them first is very important. So every module is not a chapter, it is a layer of understanding. By the end of this course, you will not just know polity, you will see how India functions through it. So these 10 modules, I'll be elaborating them further. And let's begin. So modules 1 and 2 are covering the historical background. as you can see, the historical background and the making of the Constitution. Now, historical background is not just mugging up the rights and the acts, it is something more. So, everything actually starts here. Before independence, India was not governed, India was controlled, and there's a difference. Every act, be it the Regulating Act of 1773, the Pitt's India Act, the Charter Act 1873, or any Charter Act, these were not random laws. These laws were some tools, for controlling. And that's where some students don't realize that even today, many features of our constitution come from these laws. So overall, I would like to say that if you skip history, you will never fully understand polity. So the Indian historical polity is divided into two parts. Part one is the company rule, where the East India Company was established, and this will be further taught to you in every session. These are just the modules which I'm trying to make you understand what you're going to study in this session. So the company rule talks about how the East India Company, control India. And the second part is the Crown Rule, which tells how the British Parliament took control over India. So this is all about it. Then we'll be studying about making of the Constitution. Okay, so let's imagine this. A country just got independence, people got divided, economy got weakened, but still they created one of the most detailed constitutions, most lengthiest constitution of the world. This is not normal. This is a proud moment for every citizen. This is a vision. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and the drafting committee, they did not just write a book. They did not just, you know, kept writing the laws and the articles. They designed the future of India. Many years back, they visioned India as it is today. So this is something you need to understand when was the Constituent Assembly, you know, formed, and who gave the idea of the Constitution, and what were the tasks of the drafting committee, the main leaders of the drafting committee, and from where is our Constitution, adopted the other countries, like it is adopted from these countries, but what is adopted from these countries? So everything will be covered in the when we start the classes. Then module 3 and 4, they cover the core values, the features, the structure, and four constitutional values. Okay, like this is where students struggle the most, to be really honest. Fundamental rights, directive principles of state policy, duties, some features of the Constitution, articles, federalism, citizenship. There is a lot to memorize. And when you try to memorize and everything, you mostly fail. So in the Thinkers Club, we do something very different. We don't just understand the headings, the topics, the definitions. No, we understand a very important concept, which is why. Now, what do I mean by this why? Okay, so let me give you a few examples. Rights protect you from the government. The rights are something which protects you from the government, from any sort of exploitation, okay, violation. But the directive principles of state policy, they guide the government for you. And once you understand this concept, you will never forget it. So there are some path schedules, everything will be covered, and everything will not only be covered, it will be taught. It will be given clarity. Okay, everything will be connected to each other. So over here also you may be seeing this, that the Indian Constitution is the world's longest written constitution. It's also the lengthiest constitution, okay? It is a unique blend of federal and unitary characteristics. Federal and unitary, these are two very important terms. Now these are two different types of constitution. Some constitutions are federal while some constitutions are unitary in nature, and India is something which stands in between. So you'll be given examples of which are the unitary constitutions, which are federal constitutions, what happens in a unitary constitution, and what happens in a federal constitution. And as India is in the middle, it is both federal and unitary. How is India working? Okay, the parliamentary system, judiciary, fundamental rights, directive principles, some articles, schedules, everything will be covered in this. Most core constitutional values will be covered in this entire concept. Okay, preamble ideal, citizenship rights, union states, justice, liberty, what is written in the preamble and what does it mean. Okay, not just grasping the preamble, you'll be understanding what is written in the preamble. A few words like justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, citizenship, these are written, but what do these mean? Next, in the fifth and sixth modules, we'll be covering the real power. Now, entire these two modules cover the concept of power. Who is more powerful? Okay, let's take a second. Maybe you can just guess if you are new to it that who is more powerful? President is powerful, Prime Minister is powerful, or the Parliament is powerful? I'll be replying to every comments. You can comment. Okay, so you may pause this video or you may write this question separately that who is more powerful? And most people don't know. It's okay. And but when you don't know, that's where the confusion starts. Okay, in this course, you'll be understanding the real structure of this power. We'll also be covering the president, the vice president, PM, council of ministers, COM. You know, why do they take the earth? What's their term? What's their salary, their power function, qualifications, and everything. Union legislature, like the two houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the difference between them, how it works, everything. Legislative processes, the introduction of the bill, and how a bill becomes law, and who all participate in making the bill a law. Okay, joint sessions of the parliament and budget processes, everything. Next is judiciary. So, an easier way to explain judiciary is that when power becomes too strong, someone needs to control it. And that is what judiciary is. And when a country is too big, the power is divided into two parts, the states and the local bodies. Okay, so this is how a democracy survives. In 9, 8, 9, and 10 module, we're covering the state government, local governments, constitutional bodies, the CM, governor, everything. Um, okay, the council of minister and the chief minister, the state legislature, Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad, everything. Local governments, the Panchayati Raj, okay, decentralized governance, bringing democracy to the grassroots level, everything will be covered. And at the end, this is a very important one. These are some constitutional bodies and parliamentary terms which I have realized that a lot of children skip. Okay, like the Attorney General, his powers, how is he elected, and how can there be impeachment, and Lokpal, Election Commission, Niti Aayog, and some parliamentary terms like the question hour, etc. So these are a lot. This is a very broad topic, and we'll be covering it. Finally, there will be question and answers. So these are some questions which are designed by me, and some questions which are usually asked in every sort of exam. And some are there which you as a person or a citizen of India should know. So the decision is quite clear if you want to study or you want to think. Because if you want to think, then welcome to the Thinkers Club. So any queries or anything you personally want from me, you can comment it. Any topic you want me to elaborate or make a separate video on, you can comment that to me. And the PDFs of the PDFs and the notes, everything will be provided in the Telegram channel. I'll drop the link in the description box. And this course, I will try to keep it till 10 modules, but if a specific topic is something you don't understand, or a specific topic is you think should be more elaborated more, you can just comment me and we'll extend this. Otherwise, 10 modules are fixed. If there's some issue or some understanding problem, then we'll extend it to more. Videos will, I will try to keep them as short as I can, but a concept has to be covered in a particular video, and I'll try to be live as well so that I can clear your queries, so that I can clear your queries, face to face and at the same time. So thank you and have a nice day. And we'll be starting this course from tomorrow.